What's up, gang? Today we're going to go through what happens when your car just sits. Today we have our Ford Fusion, our 2010 model. It's been sitting for off and on for a couple of years. Parents don't really drive it much. We do use it as a backup car here and there. And we just want to go through and let you guys know exactly what happens when your vehicle sits for a long period of time. Alright guys, as I said before, this is our 2010 Ford Fusion. It's been sitting off and on for a few years. And there's a little bit of a difference in sitting off and on versus sticking it in the garage for years on end. This thing has 121,000 miles on it. Damn! As you can see, there's a little bit of wear and tear issues here. The door handle broke on us, but you can still open that little latch there. Little minor things like that you're gonna have with any car, to be honest with you. And the first and most obvious thing is letting your car sit. The battery will eventually die. That also happened to us. This battery is fairly new. And then you're going to get things like flat spotting on the tires. The tires will degrade as your vehicle sits. If you're going to be letting it sit for a long period of time, you need to overinflate your tires by maybe 5 psi, maybe set them at 40 foot-pounds. This can help to reduce flat spots that develop with the weight of the vehicle. As you can see, starting to get a little bit of a flat spot on that one there. And then rust is going to be your next issue here. As you can see, the rotors are rusting all the hell and back, which will cause like brake noise, things like that.
No way, no way, no way, no way!
No way.
Your car is going to get dirty just sitting around outside. Look how dirty this thing is. Look how many spider webs is all over it already. And this thing has only been sitting here maybe 2 months. As you can hear, I do have a little bit of a squeaking issue coming from, I think it's just after fully here.
Duh.
And another question I get all the time is like, hey, my vehicle's been sitting for about 6 months, hasn't had the oil changed, or it's been sitting for a year, hasn't had the oil changed. I'm just going to go ahead and change it right now. Have better peace of mind, basically. And that's fine and dandy. If you just want peace of mind, that's okay. But sitting in the oil pan, considering it's not getting hot, it's not running through the engine, it's not really going to wear out just sitting. So I would recommend just going by the mileage of the vehicle. Just wait until you hit that mileage. Unless you check it and it's been sitting for like 2 or 3 years and it's really dark and dirty, then I would go ahead and change that out.
You're such a boomer.
But one reason I would change it if it's been sitting for at least a year is because the paper inside of the oil filter can start to degrade and break down, and you don't want that running through your engine. Your engine air filters are also made of paper.
What?
I would definitely check that out. At least take a look at it if it's been sitting for a while before you even start it up or drive it or whatever.
Yeah, bro.
Been sitting for 6 months, I wouldn't recommend changing the oil quite yet. But if it's been sitting for a year, I would recommend changing the oil and the filter. The filter is the whole thing. The oil itself is still going to be fine, but the filter could be questionable after that amount of time just sitting, because moisture can get in the engine. Moisture can also get in the valve cover. And once that happens, you can start getting like a milkshake looking thing on the bottom of the oil cap. And most people will think that that's because it's a bad head gasket. But that is not necessarily true. You can get that milkshake looking stuff just from having condensation building up inside the valve cover if it sits for a long period of time.
What the
And the last thing I know that can happen if you leave your car sitting for 6 months to a year is you can have pest infestations. Things like mice, squirrels, ants. If you leave food in your car, you will have ants. So definitely keep your car clean to prevent ants from colonizing your vehicle, basically.
Why?
Now, certain vehicles, they thought it was a good idea to make the wiring harnesses out of like a soy-based polymer plastic, something like that. And rodents love it. Mice get in their car and chew that stuff up.
No way.
So just be on the lookout for signs of rodents. Mass droppings across the engine bay.
Ew.
Or cabin air filter for signs of they'll either chew on it or there will be like insulation and leaves and stuff all piled up in there with your cabin air filter. So I would definitely check that. Check both your air filters before you start it up. Now your cabin air filter is going to be located behind the glove box. I'll show you exactly where that is right now. Alright guys, so your cabin air filter is underneath your glove box here. You've got a lot of junk in there. Not really my car, but if you fold these sides in, and sometimes there's a little arm on this side or might be a little arm on this side, you have to disconnect, and this just pulls right down. This one's got a little string right here. If you just pop this thing, pull this thing down, and then you have a little doorway that's back here. This thing pops off or slides off. This thing has a little bit of a thing underneath it. Yeah! It's got like a little bracket here that pulls this little string. And that is right in front of the door, so it's a little bit finagling, but you can get to it. And then you just pull this thing out. And then you're going to be checking for signs of life, basically. Any droppings or any like nesting. And of course you want to check it to see if it's dirty. Mine is a bit dirty, as you can see that there. All that stuff's been caught up. So we will definitely replace this one soon. And then you just stick the door back on. And boom, you're done, just like that. And check your wiper blades. Your wiper blades will also degrade fairly quickly if it's sitting out in the weather. But if it's been sitting inside the garage, not so much, but at least give them a good check when you check your air filters. Now, they do recommend you replace your brake fluid and have it flushed out at least every couple of years. Your brake fluid is hygroscopic, which means it pulls in moisture from the air, and that could lead to braking issues, which is a huge safety concern. You can start getting your brake pedal starting to go to the floor, like it feels like it has air, and then you pump it and then it builds back up. It could lead to your brake fluid in your calipers if you're going down a hill. It could start boiling because there's so much water content in there, and then when that happens, you're definitely going to have some braking issues, and you don't want any of that. So I definitely recommend having your brake fluid serviced every 2 years. And now we're going to go over everything that we just talked about. So basically, letting your car sit can lead to degradation of plastic, rubber, battery life, and potential damage from cold starts. So check your battery. Use a battery tender if it's going to be sitting for more than probably a month or two. I would use a battery tender just to keep it fresh. Overinflate your tires a little bit, just so that you don't have flat spots develop on the tires while it's sitting. Make sure your gas tank is full, because the ethanol will separate from the gasoline over a month, and you don't want any space in your gas tank for moisture to build up. Moisture in your gas tank or in your engine is not a good thing. Rust accumulation on your brakes and your rotors, it's more or less just on your rotors, to be honest with you. But anything metal can rust. And then pests. Squirrels, mice, ants. Or in some cases, snakes. You definitely don't want any of these things in your car while it sits. And then if you can, at least start your car every 1 to 2 weeks. Cars are built to run. They are not built to just sit. And then check your filters regularly. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one.